Have you ever yelled out into the great wide emptiness, only to hear a scary monster yell right back at you? That is exactly what happened to a little boy named Leo on the absolute worst day of his life. Leo was a 10-year-old boy with messy brown hair and a face that usually held a big, bright smile. But today, there was no smile. Today, his face was bright red. His eyebrows were pulled down tight over his eyes. His hands were curled into tight little fists. Leo was very, very angry. Earlier that morning, everything had gone wrong. He had built a giant tower out of wooden blocks. He worked on it for 3 whole hours. It was the tallest tower he had ever made. But then his little sister's pet dog ran into the room, chased a ball, and crashed right into the tower. Smash, crash, bang. All the blocks fell to the floor. Leo was so mad. He yelled at the dog. His mother heard the yelling and came into the room. "Leo, stop yelling," his mother said. "It was just an accident. The dog did not mean to do it." "Nobody understands," Leo shouted back. "Nobody cares about my tower. Nobody cares about me." Before his mother could say another word, Leo turned around and ran. He pushed the front door open, ran out of the house, and did not stop. He ran past the playground. He ran past the town bakery, ignoring the sweet smell of fresh bread. He wanted to be far away from everyone. He wanted to be all alone. Leo lived near a very famous place called the Great Whispering Mountains. These mountains were huge, covered in thick green trees and sharp gray rocks. Most people only went up the mountain in groups, but Leo did not care. He just kept walking. His feet stomped hard on the dirt path. Stomp, stomp, stomp. The sky above him started to turn gray. Dark clouds were rolling in, matching the angry feelings inside Leo's tummy. The wind blew hard against his face, making the tall trees sway and creak. "Even the wind is trying to push me around," Leo grumbled to himself. "Well, I will not let it." He kept climbing higher and higher. His legs started to feel heavy and tired. His breathing became loud and fast. Huff, puff, huff, puff. But he did not stop. He wanted to reach the very top where nobody could bother him and nobody could tell him what to do. After a long and tiring climb, Leo finally reached the top of the dirt path. He stepped out of the dark, shady forest and into a massive open space. This place was known as Echo Valley. Echo Valley looked like a giant bowl made of solid stone. In front of Leo was a steep drop. It was a huge cliff that went down so far he could not even see the bottom. Across the huge empty space, there were other tall mountain peaks. The air up here was cold and thin. There were no birds singing. There were no bugs buzzing. It was completely, entirely quiet. Leo stood near the edge of the cliff. He looked out at the empty gray sky and the sharp rocks. He was all alone. At first, this was exactly what he wanted, but as he stood there, the silence started to feel very heavy. He thought about his broken tower. He thought about the dog. He thought about his mother scolding him. The angry fire inside his tummy began to burn even hotter. He felt a lump in his throat. He felt tears trying to push their way out of his eyes, but he wiped them away with his dirty hands. "It is not fair," Leo whispered to himself. Then he took a deep breath. He filled his lungs with as much cold mountain air as they could hold. He closed his eyes, stepped closer to the edge, and decided to let all his anger out. He opened his mouth and screamed as loud as he possibly could into the giant, empty valley. "I hate you!" His voice ripped through the quiet air. It was a loud, angry, powerful shout. Leo opened his eyes and panted, trying to catch his breath. He expected silence to return. He expected the wind to just blow his words away. But that is not what happened at all. 1 second passed. 2 seconds passed. 3 seconds passed. Suddenly, from deep inside the foggy valley, a voice came booming back. "I hate you!" The voice was huge. It was loud and angry, just like Leo's. But because it came from the deep, dark mountain, it sounded scary. It sounded like a giant rock monster hiding in the fog. Leo gasped. He took a step back, his eyes wide with fear. The voice did not stop. It bounced off the rocks and came back again, a little softer but just as mean. "You hate you! Hate you! Hate you!" Leo's heart began to pound in his chest like a fast drum. Thump, thump, thump. Who was down there? Who was yelling at him? "Go away!" Leo shouted, shaking with fear. Instantly, the mountain shouted back, "Go away!" And then the echoes followed. "Away! Away! Away!"
Leo was terrified. He thought there was a real monster in the valley, a monster who hated him and wanted him to go away. Leo ran backward and hid behind a large gray boulder. He pulled his knees up to his chest and wrapped his arms around them. He made himself as small as possible. Suddenly, a loud boom of thunder shook the sky. Crash! It started to rain. Big, cold drops of water fell from the sky, hitting Leo's head and back. He was wet, he was cold, he was angry, and now he was very, very scared. "I am all alone," Leo cried softly into his knees, "and the mountain monster hates me." He stayed hidden behind the rock for a long time. The rain poured down, washing away the dirt on his face. He listened to the wind howling through the valley. It felt like the whole world was against him. He wished he had never left his house. He wished he was safe in his warm bed. As Leo sat shivering in the rain, a small memory popped into his head. It was a memory from when he was a very little boy. He remembered sitting on his grandfather's lap. His grandfather was a kind old man with a long white beard and a warm, gentle voice. Grandpa used to tell him stories about the whispering mountains. "Leo, my boy," Grandpa's voice echoed in his memory. "The mountains are not just rocks and dirt, they are magic. But they are a special kind of magic. They do not do tricks. Instead, they act like a giant mirror." In his memory, little Leo had asked, "A mirror? Like the one in the bathroom?" "Yes, but they do not show you your face. The mountains are a mirror for your heart. Whatever you give to the world will give back to you. If you give the world anger, the world will give you anger. But if you give the world kindness, the world will give you kindness right back." Behind the cold, wet rock, Leo lifted his head. The rain was starting to slow down. The loud thunder was gone. "Whatever you give to the world gives back," Leo whispered to himself. He thought about what had just happened. He had yelled, "I hate you," at the valley, and the valley had yelled, "I hate you," back. Was there really a monster down there? Or was the valley just being a giant mirror? Was the valley just reflecting Leo's own angry heart? Leo slowly stood up. His legs were shaking, not just from the cold, but from nervousness. If Grandpa was right, there was no monster. It was just a magical echo. And if it was just an echo, that meant Leo could change what the mountain said. The rain stopped completely. The dark gray clouds began to part, and a bright golden beam of sunlight poked through, shining directly onto Echo Valley. Leo took a slow, deep breath. He stepped out from behind the large gray boulder. He walked back to the edge of the cliff. He looked down into the vast, beautiful space. The fog was clearing up, and he could see the green trees far below. He was still a little bit scared. What if the monster was real? What if it yelled at him again? But he had to test his grandfather's words. He cupped his hands around his mouth. He thought of something nice to say. He pushed the anger out of his tummy and tried to feel calm. Then he shouted over the edge, "Hello!" He waited. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Then from the deep valley, a clear, bright voice came bouncing back. "Hello!" And then the echoes, "Hello! Hello! Hello!" Leo gasped. The voice did not sound like a scary monster at all. It sounded just like a little boy. It sounded friendly. A big smile spread across Leo's face. His heart stopped pounding with fear and started dancing with excitement. Grandpa was right. The world was a mirror. Leo decided to try again. He thought about how beautiful the sunlight looked on the wet rocks. He took a deep breath and yelled, "You are beautiful!" A few seconds later, the mountain replied, "You are beautiful! 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 Beautiful!" Leo started to laugh. He laughed so hard his tummy hurt. He felt a warm, glowing feeling spreading all through his body. He wasn't angry about his block tower anymore. He wasn't angry at the dog. He wasn't angry at his mother. He realized that holding on to his anger only made the world feel like a scary, mean place. But when he let go of the anger and shared something nice, the world felt like a wonderful friend. Leo wanted to give the mountain the best thing he could give. He closed his eyes, thought about his warm home, his kind mother, and his sweet little sister. He filled his heart with as much love as it could hold. He opened his eyes, smiled at the golden sun, and screamed with all his might, "I love you!" The valley caught his words. It carried them across the sky, bounced them off the highest peaks, and sent them right back to him, louder and happier than ever. "I love you! Love you! Love you! Love you!" Leo stayed at the top of the mountain for a little bit longer, listening to the happy echoes fade away. He felt so light. He felt like he could float all the way back down the mountain. The anger was completely gone. He turned around and started the long walk home. The journey down the mountain felt completely different. The rocks did not seem sharp and mean anymore. They were just steps to help him climb down. The wind wasn't pushing him, it was gently drying his wet clothes. The tall green trees seemed to be waving at him in the breeze. When Leo finally reached his street, the sun was starting to set, painting the sky in beautiful colors of pink and orange. He ran up to his house and pushed the front door open. His mother was sitting in the living room. She looked very worried. When she saw Leo, she jumped up. "Leo!" she cried. "Oh, my sweet boy! I was so worried about you. You were gone so long." Leo ran to his mother and hugged her as tight as he could. "I'm so sorry, Mom," Leo said, burying his face in her warm sweater. "I was just so angry about my tower, but I'm not angry anymore. I'm sorry I yelled." His mother hugged him back tightly. "It's okay, Leo. I understand why you were upset. We can build an even bigger tower tomorrow, together." Leo looked up and smiled a giant smile. He remembered the lesson from the mountain. He decided he wanted to fill his home with the same good echoes. "Mom," Leo said. "Yes, Leo?" "I love you," Leo said, loudly and clearly. His mother smiled, her eyes shining with happy tears. She kissed his forehead. "I love you too, Leo." And in that moment, Leo knew for sure that the whole world really was a mirror, because when he gave love, love always came echoing right back. The world is like a giant mirror. It does not reflect what you look like, it reflects what you give it to. If you throw out anger, meanness, or loud, ugly words, the world will echo those back to you, making life feel scary and lonely. But if you give the world kindness, love, and a bright smile, the world will echo that love right back into your heart. You have the power to choose the echoes you want to hear every single day.